Hello, everyone, and congratulations on making it to Dramatic Interpretation Finals. Woo! I'll do a little airwave, so we don't overwhelm the server. Well, on behalf of all the judges, we are so proud of you, and we're so excited and ready to be emotional with y'all. So, without further ado, let us take a look. It looks like one of our competitors are double entered. So, let us begin with TH102, Ellen Joseph. Woo!
Can you see and hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, this is being very weird. Okay. Okay. Sorry, my camera's like cutting off the top of my head. Okay, there we go. I used to sing this song over and over. And he was my only child. Oh, the minute you see that tiny little thing. Oh, and he was tiny. 3 pounds is tiny. I fell in love with him instantly. Oh, you love your husband. You love your parents. But the love at first sight was incredible. I knew that this was my mission in life. To love and protect this child. Oh, I thought what a miracle it is that I had him. I'm going to dedicate this child to God. So when Anthony told me he wanted to be a Marine, I took it as him saying he wanted to be an astronaut. He wanted to be a fireman or a policeman. I pretended he was talking to the wall. Oh, I was not going to volunteer my son. I said, Anthony, there is no need for you to join the military for financial assistance. Thanks to my hard work and the work of God, you are set for life. Oh, and he says, Mom, remember September 11th? Oh, 3,200 people were killed in 20 minutes on American soil. Oh, we never want this to happen again. Narrative paradigm theory suggests that human beings are inherent storytellers who experience the world as an unfolding set of stories, and further suggests that a good story can connect with people perhaps better than a compelling argument. In the process of grieving her own son's death, Margaret comes to realize her story is mirrored in the story of her son's killer. And that realization is what helps her come to terms with her own grief. By utilizing narrative paradigm theory to connect with others, we too can cope with our own griefs. My Child Mothers of War by Angeliki Giannakopoulos. Go fight the war on terrorism! Remember, you are not going over there to die! So I had to watch him walk away and get on that bus. Oh, and that was so hard. Because you just don't know if you'll ever see him again. Oh, there is nothing you can do. You can't be there for them. You can't protect them from those people shooting at them. I can't change the weather if it's too hot. What do I do if he hasn't eaten? How do I know? Does he have enough water? How are his feet? Does he cry? I don't know. Oh, he has a satellite phone. He can call, and he can send pictures, and he can send videos, and he can make you laugh. He call laughing. Oh, I could hear it in his voice. He was saying he was having nightmares. Oh, he'd tell me all the horrible things, the smell and the stench of things, you know? I told him, think only good thoughts, sweetie. Do you want me to send some Kit Kat bars in the next package? Oh, I know those are your favorite. Remember how sick to your tummy you used to get as a kid? I would get so mad finding those wrappers all over the house. It was a cold day. I remember I had gone out to buy a gift for my parents' wedding anniversary we were celebrating later that evening. Oh, we were going to make a huge dinner and we were going to have a party. So I grabbed the groceries and I walk into the living room. To find two members of the armed forces sitting on the sofa. My dad was pale like a sheet, and my mom was offering them coffee like the good hostess. I didn't hear a word after that. I didn't hear a word. I just know that my husband screamed. And I screamed, but those words. Sometimes when I can't sleep at night, all I hear are those words, and I didn't want to hear what they had to say because I thought if I didn't hear it, it didn't have to be. No. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. What went wrong, Lord? What went wrong, Lord? You know we spoke on Monday. I pray and I read your word. I minister to the women, to the gays, to the teens. Lord, what happened? What happened? No matter what side they're on, they're soldiers and they're doing their jobs. I don't know who killed my son. But he, in his own heart, is just as much a hero as my son is. This morning, I bury my son. I can't believe I'm actually going to do it, you know? It's just something no mother can ever have to do. Oh, God. The despair becomes overwhelming. When you lose someone you love, You want to die with them too. I don't know. I don't know what I would say to the Iraqi mother whose son killed mine. I guess that's her child too. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for my son. Thank you. And if I could go to my next round.
Amazing job, and absolutely good luck.
Good luck to all of you.
All right. Now we are going to move back to the top. So let's give it up for RC114, Megan Aguilar. Woo!
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Oh, hi, sir. Just these? How are you doing today? All right, 1560. Thank you. Have a nice day. Ooh, hi, my name's Corinne. I'm a cashier, a checkout operator. People hand things to me. I hand them back and take their money. This is my 13th minimum wage job. Oh, yeah, no. I know it straight away. You're looking down on me. Dumb bitch. Should have gone to university and gotten herself a real job. What's a 32-year-old doing working as a cashier? Oh, hi, how are you, ma'am? Statistically, it's unlikely I will ever change my socioeconomic status due to my income, education, and occupation. And I have a kid, so that's all there is to it. All right, your total is $82, ma'am. Truth is, I have climbed to the top. Job 1 was at the butcher's. I got paid $12.20 an hour to clean guts and bones off Piercepick when I wasn't selling red-faced men, steaks, and sausages. You think that's better than this cushy job right here? I'll tell you, this is the upper management of the service industry. Technology taking over jobs previously performed by people is nothing new. For example, in 1910, farm labor took up 31% of US jobs. Now takes up only 1%, due to the increased development of farming technology that automized much of the process. Today, companies feel the pressure to replace human labor with technology and leave many workers without a job. On August 6, 2020, Time magazine wrote that the COVID pandemic doubled incentive to automate jobs, and that marginalized communities with low-wage workers, like cashiers, food service employees, and customer service representatives, are amongst the most threatened to be left without a livelihood. As companies cut these jobs, they also choose to not retrain workers for different positions, leaving communities with high rates of unemployment. Workers are now faced with the decision to stay in jobs likely to become obsolete or restart careers with no support. Pete Malik's story Checkout illustrates that the problem with the increased automation of jobs is not the fact that these positions are being replaced, but rather that workers are being displaced with no support. Checkout by Pete Malik. Okay, if you can hear that voice over there, it's the robot bitch who stole 5 of our jobs. They installed a self-checkout machine about a year ago. Or as we call them here, the free fruit machine. So you put your fruit straight into your... Sorry? I gave you $7.80, man. It cost $12.20, and you gave me a 20. I'm certain, man. It says how much change to give you on the receipt. Sorry. Posh bitch can't count. Where So you put your fruit and veg straight into your bag and walk away. No one knows that you nicked it. Still costs less than 5 wages though, so they don't care much. And that's the problem with this minimum wage circuit. We're nothing but robots being phased out by robots. Everything we say is word for word off a script, and small talk beyond, "Hi, how was your day?" is rarer than a customer who tips. My conversations aren't much broader than the ones had by the electric piece of shit over there. Sorry? You reckon this was $4.65 and not $4.80? One moment, please. Sherry, price check on the Red Bull twin pack. Price check on the Red Bull twin pack. You know, it's amazing what you can figure out about people in the 1 minute they take to pass through my checkout. This guy here, into porn and video games. No one else buys just energy drinks. You can tell if someone's married, have kids, their income from their brand choices. How good they are at math. Sherry reckons it's meant to be $4.80. Maybe you looked at the wrong price tag. Most people think they're better than people like me, but I can see what's wrong in their life in a second. Only difference is they get paid triple what I do to hate their jobs. A couple years ago, I hated what I was doing much more than I do now. Job 4 was delivering flyers in the suburbs. Worked out to 4 cents per house. Dogs chased me. It rained all the fucking time. And those hardcore metal letterboxes were impossible to cram flyers past. Job 7 was at the bakery. Didn't get paid extra for starting at 4 in the morning. And the prick of a franchise owner fired me for taking a bag of old bread from the skip. Next up, would you like fries with your unfair dismissal? Point is, I've done a lot of shitty jobs. Hasn't gotten any better than this. Only place I can go from here is Aldi's. Oh, those foreign bastards get to sit all day, and their scanners are the total business. They're the checkout princes, and they know it. Hi, welcome to Aldi's. My name's Corinne. I finish in 10 minutes, but I'm not grumpy because my feet aren't killing me. Oh, do you want a plastic bag for that bread? Ooh, you're actually gonna have to pay for one. Ugh. Here I am at the peak of the low SES world, worrying about another redundancy I haven't made here. 30 to 40 hours a week, couple bucks over minimum wage, decent manager, close to home, always know the specials. The free fruit machine doesn't have a kid to feed or a lazy husband to cook for. It doesn't feel bad for being a robot because that's exactly what it is. Cigarettes at checkout for only, sir. There's no reason to yell at me. I didn't design the store layout. Go and fuck myself. Have a nice day, sir. Why is it store policy to never swear at customers? Guys like this angry bogan gets to say whatever he wants to me, and I have to bite my tongue? As cool as my manager is, he'd have me out on my ass if I dished out what was dished to me. Cigarettes at checkout for only, sir, and why don't you stick one up your de facto wife? We need to learn to speak our minds before progress takes our livelihoods. There's no sticky date pudding left because the manager's a fucking idiot and forgot to stock any. But if you're so totally devastated that you're gonna kick up such a fuss, I could go to the back end and scrape some shit off the toilet bowls for you. Might go nicely with all those assholes you licked before coming in today to pick on the white stuff. Well, would you look at that? I got myself all worked up. I guess it bothers me that it's only a matter of time before they give my job to a machine. It isn't faster than me. It isn't better or worse. That automatic checkout station is no different than a human cashier. Do they really need to wipe out thousands of jobs so people with shit and miserable lives like mine can go back to the bottom of the bottom? Those bastards couldn't afford to keep us, and it wouldn't make a difference. It's pocket money to them. Keeping us is pocket money. Well, it looks like my shift's over, so I'm gonna head home and cook whatever happens tomorrow. I'm happy enough to be standing at the top of the bottom. Have a good evening, sir. Thank you for shopping with us. Thank you.
Amazing job. All right, let's give it up for DM 103, Spencer Solusky. Woo!
Just making sure that you all can see and hear me okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I want to tell you what happened to my grandmother, Gladys Green, near the end of her life. I lived in her building where I still live in Greenwich Village. I was in the back apartment and she was in the front, just down the hall. For 28 years, she ran this tiny art gallery on Waverly Place, just around the corner from where we lived. I would stop by and say hello from time to time. It's just that once you were in there with her, it was kind of tough to get out again. So I was pretty stingy with the visits. Hi, Grandma. Mwah. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I said, I'm fine. Why don't you come over here and have some dinner? Meatloaf. Meatloaf. Yes, I'm very happy with the apartment. I just got it painted. Yes, you have. You've seen it since then. You've seen it. You've seen it a few times. You don't remember, do you? At the height of the pandemic, when all we wanted to do was erase COVID-19 from our memories, it turns out that the disease may have already been doing that to us. Published by the Center for Advancing Health in their Alzheimer's Disease 2023 report, COVID-19 infection increased Alzheimer's risk by 50 to 80%, most notably in those 65 and older. And if that weren't haunting enough, the report revealed that having a family history of the disease now increases one's risk of developing it from 50% to 70%. 6.5 million Americans currently suffer from the disease. One of those individuals, Karen Mongold, is my grandmother. As one of her primary at-home caretakers, the challenges are immense, but it is the lack of resources that constantly compromise the quality of life for seniors who wish to age in place. Join me in donating to nowrongdoor.virginia.gov, a service that provides housekeeping, meals, transportation, respite care, and more for untrained family members acting as caretakers. This play is a tribute and reminds us of the battles that families must endure to ensure that loved ones and their care are not forgotten. The Waverly Gallery by Kenneth Lonergan. In January, the owner of the gallery, Mr. George, decided to sell the building. And the time came to tell Gladys that they were taking away her gallery. We put it off for as long as we could because we didn't know what to do with her afterwards. She was losing words, her hearing, and she could only recognize members of the immediate family. Hi, Grandma. Mwah. So, Grandma, there's something you need to know. You know Mr. George? Well, he has to take back the gallery in 2 months. And he's gonna turn it into a breakfast cafe. You'll have to move out. 2 months. Yes, I'll help sell them. Let's worry about one thing at a time. No, you don't need to worry about money. You are going to settle down, and I will talk to you more about this tomorrow. No, I'm not upset. You are. Listen, I also wanted to remind you, that Dad is coming over later and he's going to take you to the grocery store. No, Grandma, it's warm outside. You didn't bring a coat. Look. Everything is going to be fine. Okay? Bye, Grandma. Sometimes people talked as though we weren't facing the true degree of her decline. But I don't know what else we were supposed to do. We thought about putting her in a home, but she didn't like old people. And she didn't want to live with Mom any more than Mom wanted to live with her. And Dad and I thought it was best for her to be alone at risk in the gallery than locked in her apartment all day. She wanted to be where the action was. She thought she was running a gallery. Her mind was smashed to pieces. But the pieces were still her pieces. I guess we all wanted to get out of it. I couldn't do it anymore, but before we knew it, it was already too late. Hello? Grandma, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. No. Nobody stole your dog. You don't have a dog. She died a long time ago. Yes, now it is very early in the morning, and there is no one here but you and me, and there is no dog. Have you eaten anything today? Sometimes when you don't eat, you get a little confused. I want you to eat something. No, nobody is coming over for dinner. It is very early in the morning, and I want you to eat this. Just eat this. Please. 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 Please, 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 eat, please. No, nobody is looking for you. Nobody is coming. You never believe anybody. Just listen to me. Okay, listen to me. No, nobody is going to the country. Okay, just sit down. All right, you're mixed up. Sit down. I'm sorry. No, stop. You are not going to kill yourself. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Stay right here, okay? Don't move. Hi, Mom, I'm sorry to wake you. She's hysterical and talking nonstop. I haven't slept in 3 days. Can you come and get her? Gladys moved in with my mom and father, where she just got worse and worse. We all took care of her and cleaned her and fed her and watched her fall apart. One day, Mom called. By this time, Gladys was just this tiny 87-year-old woman hanging on with almost nothing. After she died, it became a lot easier to remember what she was like before. But I never want to forget what happened to her, because it really happened to her, and it seems like somebody should remember it. It's not true that if you try hard enough, you'll prevail in the end, because so many people try so hard and they don't prevail. But they keep trying. They keep struggling. And they love each other so much. It makes you think. It must be worth a lot to be alive.
Amazing job. Thank you. All right. Let's give it up for DM 102, Caroline Caserna. Woo!
Can everybody see and hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay. Now, before I begin, I would like to forewarn that my content may be triggering to some audience members, as it contains mentions of domestic violence. So if this makes you feel uncomfortable, please do not hesitate to leave now or at any time. Shit, I think this is real. This might really be happening. Shit. Okay, the things you need to know are, this is the basement. This is where you're supposed to be. It's safer down here, right? Okay, what else? The door's locked. It's a good lock. It'll hold. But what's a lock gonna do against a tornado hurtling a stop sign at 100 miles per hour towards me? Jesus, I can't believe this is happening. How is this happening? But that's what they all say, isn't it? How is this happening? Not here, not me. Well, it seems it's here. And it's me. And it's getting pretty windy out there. Anyway, I'm Angela, and this is my basement. The 2021 article, Measuring the Shadow Pandemic, Violence Against Women During COVID-19, found that since the pandemic, violence against women has reached record levels worldwide. The National Commission on COVID-19 and Criminal Justice reported an increase in violence in the US by 8% following the implementation of lockdown procedures in 2020. Author Lauren Gunderson's play uses metaphor to shed light on victims lost in the shadows of domestic abuse, arguing there are good reasons for lockdowns to protect public health. But we must recognize that a person's private health can never be collateral damage. Natural Shocks by Lauren Gunderson. Shit! I can't get a signal down here. By the window, you can usually get one. Actually, no. You can't get help until after this kind of thing. You're only going to get more people hurt if you call for help now. Did I mention that this is a tornado? Yeah, sorry, I do that. I rush ahead. You're like, you said disaster, but didn't specify. Wind's down. Even looks clear out there. Like every other sunset. Nature is a liar. I don't mind lying. Sometimes it makes things easier. What am I saying? It always makes things easier. Okay, so door locked, window closed, stay away from the window. Bunch of blankets down here somewhere. Bottled water for sure. Gun in the closet. Y'all got wigged out when I said there was a gun in here, didn't you? I don't really like guns myself. I just grew up around them. And you've got to be able to protect yourself. But here, things like this don't happen here. I mean, what are the chances? Actually, I know the chances because I'm an insurance agent. Yay! You're probably thinking, I'm stuck in a basement during a natural disaster with an insurance agent. God, for a second there, I literally forgot about the tornado. Isn't that crazy? I just can't tell what's happening out there. Where is it? Which way is it going? Tornadoes are small, quick, unless, of course, it's on top of you. That's called perspective. It all makes me think of Hamlet. I had to memorize it back in high school, and it never left me. To be or not to be. And the consideration of suicide. And of course, the 1,000 natural shocks. And those 1,000 natural shocks have been my life's work. Planning for them, knowing them, outsmarting them. And yet, here I am, right in the middle of one. Sometimes things fall apart. You do everything right. And you can't stop the flood, the wind, or the man with the wild eyes. A few of you are like, whoa, are we still on a tornado warning right now? Because that seems to be the main issue at hand. We are. And it is. And I know. I really do get it. And I'm going to get a divorce. And look, shocker! I lied before. He did hit me. He does. Not always in the face, but emotionally, you know? Anger, threats. And I used to think I deserved it. That's how bad it was. That's how normal it was. Well, I don't deserve it. I didn't deserve it when he threw a jug of milk at my face. I had a bruise on my cheek and a neck I couldn't turn for a month. I didn't deserve it when he threw me against the wall of our living room after the Super Bowl. I am living with a wild animal, and that animal is a man. So I said, I'm leaving you! Because I just can't do this anymore. And then the storm started. Is it a tornado smashing things? Or a madman? And now the storm is here. Domestic abuse victims are 5 times more likely to die when there is a gun in the house. And now the storm is here. Women are 3.6 times more likely to be killed by their partner who tried to leave. And now the storm is here. And shit, I think this is real. This might really be happening. And the things you need to know are, this is the basement. Gun in the closet. And you can't get a signal down here. And you can't get help until after things like this. You're only going to get more people hurt if you call for help now. And I didn't deserve it. And I don't deserve it. And he's coming, and he's coming, and he's here, and the storm is here, and the 1,000 natural shocks. And the things you need to know are, I lied. There is no storm. There is only him. And I tell you this because I do not want to be remembered only as his victim. Because I was a warning sign that no one ever saw. That is the question. To be or not.
Amazing job. Thank you. All right, let's give it up for RC 105, Caroline Dadagazarian. Woo!
Awesome. Oh, is it gonna focus? Sorry, it does that. Sometimes if I leave and come back, it'll focus better.
Try waving at the camera. Sometimes that helps. Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
okay.
There we go.
Okay,
We got it.
Awesome. And can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay. We had planned to just chill out, go get a pizza. We decided to go pick it up just as an excuse to get out of the house. And on the way back home, I drove this different way back than I usually did. And we drove over this small overpass. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this glare of light, and I just immediately remember knowing that that was a face. So I flipped my car around, and there's this small sidewalk and a low guardrail along the edge, and it's obvious she's on the other side. I get out of my car and I stand in the middle of the lane and I say, no, okay, you are not going to do this. And looking back, I really thought that this was something I could handle. Survivor's guilt is equally as impactful, if not more so, than the physical effects that occur due to a traumatic event. In a 2018 study done by Jane Leonard, it was found that 90% of people who survived a traumatic experience when others did not reported feelings of guilt or survivor's guilt. Survivor's guilt is internal and easier for people to suppress. Those who have survivor's guilt often develop extreme PTSD, anxiety, and/or depression, yet these feelings are rarely shared out of fear of becoming burdensome to an already grieving community. In an interview with Nora McGurney, a young woman named Charlotte talks about her experience with survivor's guilt and her inability to cope with a sudden, unexpected loss. If Then, by Nora McGurney. We got back home and my husband knows because my sister called him and told him what happened, and we don't even know what to say to each other. We just sit there in silence. I go into the bathroom and I'm in there forever, just sobbing and thinking, why did that happen? That shouldn't have happened. What if I didn't turn around? Would she have still done it? Was she waiting for someone to beg her not to? Was she waiting for some perfect moment? Did what I say make her more upset? No matter how many times people told me that her mind was made up already, that was never going to be my reality of what happened that night. That night could have ended differently. I'm not saying it was my fault, but there's a million possibilities, and what are the chances that someone, and it just happened to be me, saw her and turned around? What are the chances of that? She looks at me and she says, "Go away." And that's when I turn to my sister and I say, "Call 911 right now." And she takes off down the street to go find a road sign. I look at her and I say, "Think about the people that love you." And she looks at me and she says, "Nobody loves me." And that's when I kind of just lost it and I say, no, okay, I love you, and I don't even know you. What do you want? What do you need? I was just thinking, get in my car. I will drive you wherever you need to go. But she was just a little girl. I thought that if I got too close to her, she would just let go. My next thought was, I'm just gonna have to grab her. There's no other way. I don't know how much time had passed, but long enough for me to realize that there were like 20 cars behind my own, and nobody got out. Nobody said anything. She looked at me and she said, "Here comes the semi." And I took that as a positive sign because she wasn't really noticing anything going on around her. And so I look and I say, "Good, yes, there's the semi." And when I turned and I looked back at her, she she was gone. I thought, okay, good. She's where the bridge meets the grass, and I look over and I don't see her, but I'm hopeful, and I look again, and I see a car in front of her body. A semi pulled off onto the side of the road. I ran down there to go over to her, and a man jumped out of his car in front of me and said, "It's done, it's done." He wouldn't let me go to her. He said he was some off-duty police officer. I hear my sister coming down, and I thought, no, you can't see this. Don't look, okay? Do not look. Just stay in the car. She looked like she was asleep. The next few months were just trying to get through life. I was so lost in my own head. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't figure out why this had happened. I couldn't take it as just a coincidence. There had to be something more to it than that. I mean, it changed me. I would wake up beside the toilet feeling like I had to vomit. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't swallow a pill to help me sleep because I was afraid of choking to death on it. Screaming in my sleep, waking up my husband every single night, just screaming. I'm definitely not the person I was before this happened, but I do it again because somebody has to try. If I knew it was going to end badly, I would do things differently, but I wouldn't change my route. I'd go the same way. One thing I would do differently, though, is I would tell her that it gets better. Because when you're young like that and you have some crappy life, just to have someone tell you that it gets better, things are going to get better. You have a whole life ahead of you, and things will get better. And I don't know if that would have worked, but that's what I do differently next time. If there was a next time.
Amazing job. Thank you. All right, let's give it up for HL 101, Ariel Jones. Woo!
Hi, everyone. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. You're angry. What are you angry about? Marie. Trust me, it's not a good idea. Let's talk tomorrow. I can't go to sleep knowing that you're angry. Nothing productive is going to be said tonight. How do you know? Because I know you. Why? Why is it that anytime anything good happens in our lives, you have to find something, anything, the most minor detail to harp on, to make sure that there is no possible reason to celebrate? Really? You want to go there? Yes. Okay. Your speech, Malcolm. Oh, give me a break. You are completely out of your mind. When I said you would find the most minor detail and turn it ugly, I meant it. You didn't thank me, Malcolm. That's not a minor detail, that's a big one. But I've thanked you a million times before. You know I'm thankful, you know I'm appreciative, and you know it was a mistake. So why are you turning this into something more? Because it is more. It's our whole relationship in a nutshell. There is an importance in being able to speak one's truth and tell one's story. The Malcolm and Marie screenplay by Sam Levinson tells the story of Marie, a young woman, and her boyfriend Malcolm, an older man. After coming home from Malcolm's movie premiere, the two begin arguing about how Malcolm did not thank or acknowledge Marie in his speech. Marie claims that the main character's experience is parallel to her own, but Malcolm refuses to affirm that her role was that significant. The two view ownership of stories differently, and this pushes them to have a conversation about not only that, but confront the painful truths of their relationship. And now, a dramatic interpretation of Malcolm and Marie. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm dead serious. It's psychotic to think that forgetting to thank you is symbolic of anything, other than me legitimately forgetting to thank you. Malcolm, you thanked 112 people. You thanked your agents, your cast, your mother, your gaffer, your third grade teacher, and the usher who worked at the theater when you were 11 years old and saw whatever the hell it was. You don't have to be sarcastic and petty and obnoxious about it. I forgot to thank you. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry, which is why I apologized 100 times during the movie. I couldn't even focus on my own movie. I felt so guilty. That's a shame. You've only seen it 7,000 times. But every time I leaned over and said, I'm sorry, you said it was fine. You squeezed my hand and said, I love you. Don't worry. It's fine. Well, Malcolm, I changed my mind. It's not fine. How can you change your mind like that? Because while I was sitting in the audience watching the movie, I was fine. And it wasn't that big of a deal. But afterward, at the party, every single person from your mother to Taylor came up to me and said, I know you're probably a little upset he forgot to thank you, but I know how much he counts on you. Taylor said that. She told me not to read into it. I didn't cheat on you. I didn't ask. No, you can say whatever you want, Marie. Or you can get pissed off that I didn't thank you, that Taylor said whatever the hell Taylor said. It was mean. And then all night I had to look over and see you laughing with her and posing for photos. She's the lead of my film. I know. I don't care. It's my job to make her feel comfortable. Not at my expense. Yes, despite how you feel about it. It is my job. Malcolm, you spend your entire life catering to the feelings and whims of other people. Actors, producers, crew members, even fictional characters get more empathy and respect from you than I do. And sure, Taylor was great in the film. But when you can get up there and give an entire speech about Taylor's ability to breathe life into the character of Imani without ever acknowledging that if I hadn't lived my life, she wouldn't exist. Imani is not based on you. Imani is a 20-year-old drug addict trying to get clean. What was it? Just pure coincidence? Obviously, you getting clean was part of the inspiration. At 20, yes. And you were able to provide genuine insight into what that felt like. But Imani is not based on you. It's an amalgamation of a lot of different things. Who? People. What people? A lot of different people. Mm-hmm. It's my cousin. It's, a lot of different people. I feel like once you know someone is there for you, once you know they love you, you never think about them again. That's not true. It's only when you're about to lose someone that you finally pay attention. Is that what this is? What you're threatening? That if I don't apologize, I'm gonna lose you? I'm not looking for an apology. Then what do you want, Marie? A screenplay credit? Don't be cruel. No, seriously. I know I spend hours and hours talking to you about work. Is it so much of a nuisance that you like compensation? It's not about credit, Malcolm. I don't want credit. Then what do you want, Marie? The film is beautiful. I'm proud of you. It took forever to make and it was tough. I'm curious about one thing. Do you think the film would be as good as it is if we weren't together?